And now I will show you the second half of my cover lot. Germany, American and British zone to the USA. These catalog about $16 each. Again, we must always consider the dates of mailing, the airmail rate, the letter weight, which the postmaster writes in right here, like 9 grams in this particular case. On the right, evidently he neglected to do that, or somebody erased it or something. But anyways, the rates were identical on both of these covers. And anyways, we also need to consider the stamps themselves, the type of the stamp, the watermark, and the perforation, amongst other things. So basically, at all these considerations, yes, the catalog value showed about $16 each. Germany, again, American and British zone to the USA. This particular item is a single franking with perforation 14 all around, and it catalogs after all considerations are met, including the 10 gram. I think the 10 gram was the cutoff. 1 gram more would have put it into another weight category. But as it is, this cover catalogs about $30. So not bad for a $1 purchase. And again, Germany, again, American and British zone. This one, however, as Inland Express mail, as the label indicates, and the postmaster's big X and crayon. The Berlin mandatory help stamp does not add or is any part of the 80 pfennig postage, as you can see here. And this particular postage is in the perf 14. And as multiple franking and everything else considered, as explained before, this cover catalogs about $15. Germany again, and there will be quite a few more. AMG cover of catalog value of $4. And again, I know I sound like a broken record, but I like to make my point, and that's why I keep repeating. Hopefully you will remember when you look at these covers to consider date, printing, destination, franking, weight of the cover, stamp varieties, etc. All details that you can possibly come up with to get a better handle on a more accurate catalog value of your cover. Yeah. And another AMG cover, this one of 21 June of 1946. In what kind of franking? Yes, multiple franking, 2 or more of the identical stamp. This cover very clean, really nice postmarks, and really I don't see any discrepancies. Only catalogs $5. This cover, very similar, but very different at the same time? Well, we have, again, the 3/8 pfennig multiple frankings, but the one major difference, and yes, it is major, is the difference in the date of mailing. In this particular case, it is 13 November of 1945, whereas the previous was mailed in 1946. And yes, that raises the value, the catalog value, I should say. Catalog, not the same as market value. Market value, whatever a person is willing to pay, will usually determine market value as an average. This cover catalog value is $90. So quite a lot more than the previous cover. So you can see the point I'm trying to make is detail, detail, detail. So check them closely. Maybe you have such a cover. But again, in order to really get a hold of, all the aspects of such a cover and the importance of the dates, a good specialized or good cover catalog for the area is really essential. And oftentimes, all you need to do is find that one good cover, maybe a couple of $100 or more, would definitely pay for such a catalog, and it will serve you for a long time. So might consider that. Now, we're still in Germany, and here we have what we refer to as air letters. Air letters are basically a folded item. They come unfolded, but they come pre-stamped by the post office for the amount that they allow the postage for. And then you write your note inside. No inclusions, no extra paper or pictures or anything may be included in these air letters. Only the air letter itself is good for the amount of postage marked on it. So don't include anything. But air letters too are listed, and they do come in sometimes different types. And so again, a good catalog will differentiate and will also give the different values for the different types. In this case, this air letter catalogs about $60. Not bad for $1. And here we have another air letter of a slight different configuration and color. You can see right here the fixed or stamped on, printed on postage. Same amount, 60 pfennig. And both of these are of West German type. Berlin also had some. West Berlin, that is. And this one, well, it's a little wrinkled. And you can see part of the writing kind of bleeding through a little bit. So, and right here too. Anyways, the actual catalog value is $75, but it does have some wrinkling and perhaps some imperfection. So that needs to be considered. But still, again, $1 is not a bad price to pay for such an item. Okay, and here we have two examples of multiple franking. Not a whole lot here, but anyways, the cover on the left catalogs at about $5, whereas the one on the right catalogs $15. Well, my hope was, and I did not carry a UV light with me to the stamp show, that perhaps this particular pair of stamps would be of the fluorescent type. Why? Because I noticed the year date 1962, and that is a time when they had used, and even before that a little bit, fluorescence coating over some of these stamps. If that would have been the case in this pair, oh, that cover would be worth a few $100s right now. Unfortunately, it's not. So now it's only valued at about $15. And still, not a bad deal and a good learning experience for both of these covers. And again, we have more German material. On the left, we have a coil stamp affixed to this letter. We also have a horizontal pair. Remember what I indicated about horizontal pairs on previous videos? And a strip of 3 horizontally. On the right, we have a regular vertical pair of a relatively common stamp, except that it does have a little extra. And what caught my attention was the initial attention, the equally shortened curves, and sometimes they're actually longer curves. It depends how they're separated, usually from either a vending machine or a coil roll. In this case, this turned out to be a coil stamp also. And how did I detect this coil stamp and that coil stamp by just looking at these covers? Well, what I did is I spread the cover apart at the top where it was cut open initially and held it up against the light. And yes, lo and behold, you could actually see the printed on coil number on the back of that stamp without lifting it off cover. And the same thing on the right cover. It worked like $1,000,000. So I was happy about it. I had no idea about catalog value because who can remember all that? So I decided definitely a little bit of knowledge or experience guided me to these coil stamps. So I decided to buy them. And yes, we have the left one at $28 all totaled up and the right one at $32. So as we can also see, on-cover prices are typically better than on a loose stamp. And then we have semi-postals on cover. In this case, again, it is of multiple franking. And yes, what a wonderful catalog value. A single would be a few dollars, but as multiple, which is not commonly used because people don't normally like to pay the extra surcharge, which is to benefit people, collected to benefit them, because the surcharge, as I also explained in previous videos, does not include, is not included in the postage. The postage is the 40 and the 40, which makes 80. And that was the airmail rate at 1960, 14 January. So, properly franked by airmail to the U.S., nice $1 purchase with a catalog value of $70. So, actually, very nice item. And here we have a earlier horizontal pair on cover. This one right here. These stamps here are separated and then kind of try to match up again when they affix them, but you can see separations here under the magnifying glass. This is basically a very good cover, typically. However, this one, the rate is correct for a 5-gram cover to the U.S., New Jersey. But this cover, the cover itself shows damage front and back, and the stamps have flaws. One right here, and you have a total corner missing right here. Just to mention a few. Also short perfs here, but this is the real key item on the cover. Yeah, with everything in good shape, well, $300 catalog value would still, give a decent retail value. But under these conditions, well, it's hard to say, I wouldn't count on too much, but I could not resist, again, for $1. Okay, here we have, again, multiple franking, and we do have a horizontal pair, as you can see. Also, little short perfs and stuff like that, but I could not detect any separation here. Just cover damage and stuff like that. So, it's still not bad for $1 because the catalog value is about $130. And it is an express letter. And sometimes in the more modern stuff, they don't use that crayon and put that X across the cover. I don't know if they're getting lazy or if they just don't do it anymore. But here is the jewel of the whole lot. This I could not believe I would find in a $1 cover box. This is the better horizontal pair out of this 1959 set. It's not fluorescent. I checked that. Nonetheless, it is a commercial cover. The condition of the cover, well, there's a little tear here, is not too bad. And the condition of the stamps, I feel, is pretty darn good. Maybe slightly shortened, 2 perfs up here, but not really too bad at all. I was very, very happy to have this. And yes, can you guess how much? Well, that would be a hard answer. Difficult to answer, yes. So I will show you on the next page. Yes, this is the best cover in this $29 $1 each cover lot. The 2017 catalog value in my Michelle cover catalog catalogs this pair on cover at $900. This after sifting for 2 to 3 hours through boxes, thousands of covers. Yes, it made the day worthwhile in my opinion. And believe me, this cover looks very plain and simple, but try to find one. It's not an easy task. Otherwise, if they were readily available, I don't believe the catalog value would be this high. So, but pay attention, look closely, make sure it's in relatively good shape. And if you can get it for $1 or even 5 or 10, yes, by all means, I would. So that's basically my highlight of this $29 cover purchase. And again, so why pick some low value covers even for just $1? Well, again, the answer is simple. Not knowing and knowing the material. Not knowing gives the opportunity to learn, which to me is worth the $1 gamble, if you want to call it that. Knowing gives the opportunity for the right decision, such as the previous cover I just showed you. I hope you did get a little enjoyment out of this video and do hope that you will give me thumbs up, and even more so, please do subscribe to my previous and future videos. Thank you so very, very much for watching. As can be seen in the last two videos, that this $29 lot was well spent. Unknowingly and knowingly. So keep your eyes open. Try to remember some of the things that are important. And I wish you nothing but the best luck, and especially stay healthy. Thank you once again. My channel, Stamps, Space, My Fun Things.